Good evening, good people. Welcome to another 203K Tuesday. I am your host, Aaron, the house person, and of course, this is the place you come to find out everything you don't know about the 203K loan and learn how you can use that loan to help create, build, and sustain generational wealth. So, last week we went over one step. Hopefully, you guys took notes and have that same sheet of paper readily available so you can take notes this week. All right. So let's jump right into this week's lesson, this week's step, and see you on the other side. Mm, mm, mm. It's been a long day, man. I left out this morning, headed north on 95, en route to uh, the Charm City, Tubman City, also, or better known as Baltimore. Had to go up there and meet the inspector for uh, housing inspection, and we passed. I'm tired because I was up there a lot longer than I expected to be, but that's neither here nor there. So, all right, how you guys doing? Again, my name is Aaron Person. I am the director of the 203K Done Your Way program, where we economically rehabilitate the community one house at a time, and we do so by educating you about the 203K process and then walk you through that process from start to finish, helping you realize whatever your dream of home ownership and your vision of the home actually is, right? What we do is help you guys create, build, and sustain generational wealth through what I consider the most powerful loan product out there. All right. So the last couple of days, I've been going over the steps, right? 203K Done Your Way, steps to getting a successful 203K done. So if you recall, step one was what? Yeah, they did Hulk Hogan joint on you. Okay. Now, step one was to get a realtor, right? Find that realtor, that rock star realtor who's experienced. Step two was to hire that lender. So the realtor is your point guard. The lender is your shooting guard, hitting those bank shots, getting you the bag. So step three, now that you've got your pre-approval, kind of understand the financing situation and know, what numbers you have to play with. Step three is to go house shopping. Any shoppers over there? Any you shopper? Yeah? No? That's okay. So you go house shopping, and so what are you looking for? You're looking for the ugly house in a pretty neighborhood, right? You're looking for something that kind of sticks out as, man, if that house was fixed up, it would be great around here. That's option A. You may not, depending on where you are, be able to find that because you out here fighting different investors trying to get those properties, right? Because they out here fishing and using cash to catch the fish. That's their bait, right? So it's a little competitive, but what you want to do? Hey Tanya, how you do the wave? I'll be struggling with technology. I'm just getting there. You go. But what you want to do is look for that ugly house in a pretty neighborhood. You also want to look for emerging neighborhoods, so neighborhoods that are considered like those C neighborhoods, and they're kind of close to the B neighborhoods. And so A is like the ritzy, expensive neighborhoods. What's going on? So A is like those ritzy, expensive neighborhoods. If you're in DC, everything almost ritzy in DC now. I was gonna say like your Georgetowns and your wharfs, those types of places, but just high price neighborhoods. B is a little more moderately priced, but definitely an area that people want to live in. C is kind of like, we'll live here, but we might be locking all the doors. And then, of course, D is what they consider the war zones. But if you look for properties that's in like that C neighborhood that's close to a B or it looks like it's emerging to be a B, that's a great place to kind of look as well. And other ways to find property, of course, is just to word of mouth. If you were an investor, you could talk to different wholesalers. Those are people who go out, reach out to absentee owners, meaning landlords or people who have a home or not living in that particular home, right? Absentee. And they try to get those properties under contract in order to then flip into investors. Now, it may be a little more difficult trying to get a 2 or 3K down that avenue because they want their money kind of fast. And 2 or 3K process is not necessarily fast, but it can be if you have all the teams in place, all your team rather, all the members of your team in place, and everybody is ready to rock and roll. I mean, these actually can close in 30 days. I mean, it's not typical, right? Typical for non-2 or 3K from contract to close when you get under contract to when you actually start signing everything is normally like about 30 days unless you're using some type of outside program. But Ks can be done in 30 days. It's not typical. So don't be like, oh, Aaron said I should be able to get it done in 30 days. Aaron didn't say that. Aaron said they can be done in 30 days, but it's not typical. But yeah, step 3, y'all, to go shopping for that house is one of the funnest steps because you get to go look at some stuff that, some of it's going to be pretty ugly. Some of them might not be so ugly because remember, you can look at a house that's just outdated, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be a house that don't have a roof, but you can look at that too. The range is there. Really, in my opinion, you only, so if you're doing a K consultant K, right? That's the full one, the standard one, the one above $35,000. As long as you're spending $5,000, you can get that done. And show me a house in America where you can't spend $5,000, and I'll show you otherwise, right? Now, it doesn't necessarily make sense in a lot of cases, but you pretty much can walk in any house, even a brand new constructed house, and be like, I want new carpet. I don't like the backsplash in the kitchen. Take it out and replace it. $5,000. Now, that, again, doesn't make sense to do it all the time, but you can do that. So, step 3, y'all, is when you go house shopping, you can look for that ugly duck in the Swan neighborhood. You can look for those houses that are in the C neighborhoods emerging to BBs. You can look in the B neighborhood as well. Of course, that's going to be more so the neighborhood that everybody wants to live in, that they can afford, right? The A neighborhoods is what everybody really wants to live in but can't afford it, right? So it's going to be a little more competitive in those B neighborhoods. So C neighborhoods is probably your best bet. C neighborhoods that are like borderline B, or you see the progression coming that way and it's going to be a B neighborhood. So yeah, that's all I got for y'all. That's step 3. Be sure, again, head on over to YouTube, the 203K Done Your Way page on YouTube. We got past interviews with, those team members, that point guard, which is your realtor, that shooting guard, which is your lender, that small forward, the swing man, which is your consultant, the power forward, which is your contractor, and the center. I haven't interviewed the center yet, which is your title company. They don't have as big of a role as the 4 other players. Their job is really just to protect your ownership interests. But I will be getting someone on the show as well. And then, of course, I got on there a couple different testimonials from folks who have gone through the process and have reaped, quite a few benefits from that process. All right. A couple people have springboarded their investing career because of that. We had Damian Miles. He's even started a contracting company, got his MHIC, and started, doing jobs from other people. And, of course, doing his own jobs for his flips. Got the Downing brothers on there, and those guys right now are shooting a new show on True TV. They had a previous show on HGTV called, was it The Double Down, or is that their podcast? Homecoming with the Downings. Yeah, so. But that's what I got for y'all. If you're in the DC metro area, be sure to check out 716 Vodka. I'm one of the owners of that product, and we're doing what we can to get the word out about this delicious spirit. 50% alcohol, named after the creation of DC. But that's a plug. That's a plug right there. Just don't ignore it. But yeah, head over to the 203K Done Your Way page, and see you guys next time. All right, so look. There you have it. That is this week's step. All right. I hope you have that written down right underneath last week's step. Number your paper. I would number them as you get to the next week, because you just may end up adding some notes later. Like maybe you go back and watch and say, I forgot about that, and add that in, right? So, but yeah, make sure you again keep that paper in a safe location. Unless you want to just go back and watch them again, that's perfectly okay. Not gonna argue with you, right? But yeah, keep that paper in a safe place. Be sure to like the video, right? If you got any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave a comment. We like to reply to those as soon as we see them. So if we see a comment, if it's a question, we'll get that question answered. If it's a situation where we don't think we have the answer you're looking for, we'll research and get that answer. Okay, so go ahead and leave those comments, those questions, those concerns. Be sure to like. Be sure to subscribe, right? Ring the bell when you subscribe. And if you think it's good information, if you found any little bit of value, right? I mean, just a little bit of value, or if you think somebody else will, please share it. Please share the content. Sharing is caring. We don't want anyone to miss out on the opportunity and good information. So that's all I got for you guys this week. Be sure to bring that paper back with you next week as we go over the next step. See you guys next 203K Tuesday. Signing out.